So good morning, everyone. I'm Susan. Nice to have you guys here. I try to do these small live sessions regularly. I think we managed to do one about 2 weeks back last, where we painted some pretty sunflowers. So this is today's painting that you can see here. That's my screen. We'll be attempting to paint some very loose, simple cherry blossom flowers over here on a little bow. I have put the list of materials already there in the comment section, just in case you'd like to take a look. But it's very simple. There's nothing very specific about the materials you require. You just need some watercolor paints, two colors to be exact, a brown and a pink, and maybe you can have a little bit of a black thrown in just to add some more detailing if you'd like to. That's for your paints. Paper, I'm going to be using watercolor paper. Now this is on a 300 GSM watercolor paper book. I'm going to be making it on a cold pressed sheet. You can see the texture on that. But you can use any watercolor paper for this. It's not specific what paper to use. As long as it's watercolor paper, it should be fine. For brushes, I've written one medium, one fine, in the sense you'll need something slightly broader to make the larger petals and the branch, etc. And you might want a smaller, finer brush to make the finer details, the small petals, etc. Right? But if you are comfortable, you can actually do everything with one brush also. You don't have to worry about changing brushes all the time. Depends on your comfort level. I will probably just use this number 6 brush of mine while I'm doing it, in case I require. Hi, Ragini. So this is what I'm going to be using. As I said, feel free to use 2 separate brushes if you'd like to. Okay, so let's get started. This is the painting. I'm just going to keep it a little out of frame right now. And oh yes, of course, 2 more things you'll need. 2 jars of water, one for rinsing your brush out and one for cleaning it. And hi, Avni, and some tissue paper. Always keep some tissue paper handy. If you're mixing your colors, then you'll need a palette also. But again, that depends on what are you using, whether you're using cakes or anything like that. So let's get started. Everyone's ready to go? Hi, Vanavi.
Hi.
Hi, Tuba. I see lots of familiar faces. Nice to see you guys. All right, so I'm going to get started. I have my paper over here. What we'll start doing is by first putting a very loose wash of a very watered down light pink color in a sort of curve like that. Okay, then we'll add some main flowers, and right at the end is where you add your branches. The branches come in right at the end. You first start by making your composition. Okay, so you can use a pink color for this. I am going to be using some pink that I have on my palette only. You can use any pink color for this, but just make sure it's a nice watery pink color. You can see I kept it. I'm actually talking about this shade over here. If you can see between the flowers, we're doing actually a very rough wash first before we get started. So whatever pink you use, just make sure that it's very watered down. So you can see I have some pink on my palette. It's a very concentrated dark pink. So I'm going to add a ton of water to this and make it really, really watery. You can see it's almost transparent. You can see the base of your palette through it also. So just add a little more water. I still want it even more, watery. So I'm just going to keep on adding more water. And if you like, keep a small rough piece of paper to do a patch test on. Okay, just give me a second. I'll show you what I mean. I have just a strip of rough watercolor paper over here, excess. So I'm just going to rub it on that and see if I like the color. So I think this is fine. So I'll probably stick with this shade. So this is just to give you an idea, what is the kind of shade of pink you're looking at. Something light like this. You don't want it very dark, which is basically what I mean. Okay. So now we'll continue. And you can see I made a big batch of it. There's a lot of it sloshing around on my palette. So I'm rinsing my brush, and in sort of a U shape, C shape, I'm just going to first add a whole bunch of it on the paper. Okay. Something of that sort. Now I'm going to rinse my brush and just on the edges, just soften the edges a bit with water. Okay. So what we're doing is you're just making a very rough, like a blotch of watercolor, like a pink blob over here. It kind of forms the background for your flowers. So it's basically to avoid a lot of white showing through in your painting. That's the reason you're just doing this little back one. And just keep blending the edges until your water is transparent. And the reason you're doing this is so that you don't have any harsh edges. Okay. And always you can see I'm not doing it this way. I'm not pushing the paint out. I'm taking my brush and pushing it inwards. Now I have a very light layer of pink. I'm going to just drop a couple of drops of paint in it. I don't want it, basically, an even shade. Don't put too much, just a couple of drops here and there so that you kind of get very abstractish, something like this. It should look like at this point. Okay, so we are going to let this dry for a bit so you guys can also catch up. I'll just leave it for about 2-3 minutes, just enough time for it to dry out, and then we can get started. If you feel that your paint is too dark, okay, that you put a little extra paint, for example, say I have painted something, I know this is not very dark, but for the purposes, it's a little darker than what I would have used. What you can do is while it's still wet, rinse your brush out and drop some water into those dark places like that. So you get a little watercolor blooms. So this also helps in giving you a very nice background. Okay, it gives a lot of thing. Umang, we've just about started. We've just dropped a little pink, very watered down pink paint in sort of like a slightly C form on the paper. And we've blended the edges so it doesn't have any borders. That's what we've done so far. Okay. So just to show you guys, I don't want to lift it up too much because of the water will slosh, but something like this. And we'll just let this dry out. Okay. We'll just give it a minute or so, let it dry, and then we'll continue. You don't need it to be 100% dry, just dry enough that you can start working on it without it. It can blend a little bit the next step, but not that much that it spreads out completely. So that's why we need to just let it dry for a little while. Again, if you feel that you have too much paint on your paper or it's looking too dark, or even if your edges, like say if your edge is looking something like this, like a strong border, right? And that will not look nice. It doesn't serve the purpose. So you can come and just dab it with a tissue like that to lighten it out also. That also works. Okay. Anywhere you feel that you have like a slightly strong border, you can just dab it with a tissue. Hi, Dipali. Mine is still pretty wet. You can see it has that sheen to it. So I'll wait a minute or so more, and just to augment the drying process, where the edge where my paint is blended in with the water, I'm just going to very gently dab it with my tissue, just to sort of quicken the process a little bit. The inside is still quite wet because that's why I dropped those little drops of water. You can try doing that over here. Hi, Neha. So I'm just using a number 6 round brush, but you could use 2 brushes, one maybe a number 8 or a number 10, and a number 2, number 4, anything finer for the smaller areas also. But if you're comfortable just using one brush, a number 6 or a number 8 should be fine also.
Hi, Susan. This is Aarti here.
Hi, Aarti. Tell me.
Susan, I just joined in. Could you just recap what you've done so far?
Sure. I'll just tell you. So this is the painting that we are making today. What we started is by taking a very, very light layer of pink, if you can see in the background over here. And with like a wet on wet technique, we've made like a sort of or a curve over here in that by keeping a very, very pale watery pink color. And we're just going to let that dry for a bit before we move on. So that's all we've done till now. We've just added a wet on wet wash. Like,
Okay.
see, that's about it. A very pale pink.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Yes, Neha, this is a stationary water brush. It's a part of the series of round brushes. It's one of those. So I'm just keeping an eye on it to see. So the moment I feel that it's not too shiny, it has a slight damp sheen to it. Instead of being absolutely watery is when I'll start painting also. What you can also do, yes, Molly, even I, I think now stationery is my favorite set of brushes. I do have Winsor Newton and all also. I mean, I shouldn't be saying that, but the thing is, I really like my stationery brushes. Oh yes, you just received yours yesterday, no, Molly? All right, good, good. Enjoy them. Nice. Oh, you got the blue ones. Nice. So you can also do one thing if you feel this is completely even and you want to just add a little more texture, you can take your tissue and just dab a little bit here and there. So you can see how it's leaving a little bit of white patches. So just gives it a little bit of texture. You don't want 100% even color. And I'm also doing this because I'm getting a little impatient and I want to get started with the painting. So something like that, you can see just a little bit. And I think a minute or so more and we should be able to get started with the rest of the painting. So for the next part, once this dries out a little bit, we'll first start with the larger flowers. So these ones, some facing you, a couple facing sideways. Once you've done the larger ones, then we'll start filling in the smaller ones. And that's how you'll proceed. And that's how, once that is done, once your flowers. So if you see in the flowers also, in some of them, the centers are a little smudged. A few of them are quite detailed. So we just do a mix of that. In some flowers, while it's still wet, we will add like a extra drop of paint so it smooths out like this. And in some, we'll just make it a little super detailed after it dries. So it's just a mix. You can actually come and add this kind of dots on it after you do that also to add a little extra detail. So it's a little abstractish. You can vary this according to what you'd like to, how you'd like your painting to look also. Okay, so I think there's a little bit of a tiny sheen over here. I'm getting that shouldn't be long now. I am tempted to just go over it with my tissue again to let it dry a little more, but I think I'm going to wait. Okay, so this is feeling a little dry to the touch. I think I can start from here. I'm going to take the same pink color. I'll keep it a little less watery just now, by which I mean I'll just add a little more pink to it. So it's still very watery. If you can see my palette, it's just like a shade also darker. So that was the color that I did over there. This is what I've done now. So it's just about a shade darker than the top one. I'm going to start by making very simple, like a 5-petaled flower. Okay. If it's slightly wet and it smudges a little bit on the sides, it's fine. So I'm just making like 5 kind of circles. Okay, so this is a little wet of mine, you can see. But that's fine. You basically want to have the suggestion of a flower and a petal rather than a complete flower also. So if a couple of the edges are slightly, a little blurred, that's absolutely fine. I'll maybe make another one on the side. So for the side view ones, you've actually worked in 2 layers. You've made 1 layer, let it dry, and then you painted the second layer on top of them. So I'll just make like 3 circles. 1, 2, 3. It's slightly curved, if you can see. And I'll let I'm rounding it off on this side and let that dry. So we'll build up, we'll make a couple of layers of these. So even places where it's like completely blending with the slightly wet part, we will go over that and add a little more definition in the next round. Okay, maybe I'll make another 5-petaled flower here, 1, 2, 3. So I'm just making circles, you see, very simple, rounded circles, and then just fill up the center. And make one like a side view over here. You can make a side view with just 2 petals also. Mix it up. Maybe I'll make another big 5-petaled flower over here, the front facing one. All right. And now I'll just start filling it in. I've got my basics in place. I'll just start filling it in with smaller flowers. Okay, so I'll just make the same thing small. I'm just making like 5 circles and joining them. Don't keep too much paint on your thing. You want it to dry a little lighter. So if you have like a blob of paint, like how this is coming over here, you might want to just soak it up a little bit. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fill up the center. I'm actually using the extra paint from there to make the rest of my flowers. I'll do the same thing here. Maybe another small one here. So don't worry too much about filling it up absolutely, because as I said, we will add one more layer of flowers to like sort of fill up the gaps wherever we have. So don't worry like about making it too, like filled up. And change the size of your flowers also. You don't have to make them all the same size. You can make them really tiny and delicate also, just using the tip of your brush. And don't worry too much about the shape. You can see I'm keeping it sort of rounded off 5 petals, but you don't need to worry exactly about the exact shape of your flowers. You can make like a smaller side one also by adding like 3 petals over here. Maybe I'll make 2 side petaled ones side by side over here. So 1, 2. And just continue like that. And you don't have to stay within that wash that we made, okay? You can go out a little bit, and in a few places you can let a little bit of the wash show through also. All right. I'm just going to add something small over here. Basically, you don't want a smooth border. You want it to be a little broader in some places, a little, lighter in some other places. So that's about it. I don't want to just have a very even, smooth bunch. It needs to be sticking out a little bit also, because that looks a little more natural as compared to just going along with that. So I'll make a couple more small flowers here also, and I'll make a few more here too. Okay. I think I'll make one slightly larger flower just over here also. Kind of like finish it off. Like that. You can make some here. Just keep changing around the sizes of your flowers a little bit. You just need a little bit of that variety, that's all. So I'm just going out of the border, as I said, just so that it doesn't look like it's very, very streamlined. Thank you, Anjali. Happy friendship with you too, and to everybody here. Okay, I think this should be fine. Now, after you've made your flowers, you can just come in and add like small dashes just as buds, especially towards the ends and the outside. Okay, so I'll just make a few round buds. You can make them like with 2 petals or just make them like round circles over there. Just like a kind of spray of it. So especially where you have your small flowers, you can add a couple of these. Because the small flowers and buds usually go on the same branch. These are a little dark for me, so I'm just going to dab at them with a tissue to lighten them up a bit. Maybe I'll add some here. You can add a few in between also. This is what I was talking about, just as fillers. And here, not too many. You don't want it to get overpowered. Just a bunch of them. And it also helps to break up the shape. So now you see it looks a little more realistic, a little more random in the way the flowers have spread out, right? So now what I'm going to do is I think I'm happy with the main composition of this. So those big flowers, like what I said, right in the middle, I'll just add a little extra dark pink. Just at the center.
Nice.
Sorry?
Ramya is showing something, it's looking really nice.
Oh, I'll do.
Thank you.
Let me just take a look. Oh, nice, Ramya. That's looking very pretty.
Thank you, Susan.
Okay. So these seem to be a little extra wet of mine because the paint is still pooling out. So I'm going to wait for that to dry a little more to add some more detailing into it. So we'll just let it dry now. Okay, we're going to let this dry and then we'll add some final detailing in terms of, again, just reinforcing these little centers over here and we'll start work on the twigs after that. So just give it a while to dry out. Also, what I'm going to do is over here, like you can see, this is turned into like sort of one blob. So I've rinsed my brush out, wiping on a tissue so I don't have extra water. And I'm just going to lift a little color to kind of give those petals its shape. So I'm painting outside the petal, sort of like a negative painting kind of effect, where I'm just lifting up around the petal, something like that. Again, this is not necessary, but if you have, your paint has spread like this also, you can do something like this too. Okay. I'm just blending it because I don't want that bloom watercolor lines coming in this. I mean, as much as I love watercolor blooms, it has its place and it's not over here. So that's why I'm just making sure of that. Okay. So what we're going to do now is we're going to mix a little bit of brown. We'll come back for the final detailing once this is dry. Now we need to wait for it to dry. Okay. Now we can mix a brown for this. You can use any brown. For the first layer, you can use any brown. Again, keep it watery. First layer, you want to make it nice and light. Let's do a patch test over here to see that also. Okay. So if you can see the brown first layer, I want it nice and light like this. So that's what we'll keep it as. And then after that, in the second, we'll build a couple of layers in the wood or the branch, whatever you like to call it, so that it looks a little rough and it looks like it has some bark or something. Okay. So this, and I'm starting from here because this area should be dry of mine. So I'll sort of start at this little above the corner, like coming in here, sort of extending there, extending here, and little twig coming out here. That's the plan. We'll start with this part first. I'm just pressing my brush down so I get a nice broad stroke. Okay, you can make it a little bumpy like that. You don't have to have it an absolute straight line. You can just make it a little bump in it also. And then what I'll do is I'll just kind of like fill it in till about around the first flower that it encounters. Then over here, I'll just think I'll leave this as it is. And you have to basically see how natural would the shape be. So I'm imagining it coming like this, bending down slightly at an angle and coming over here, okay? So I can have like sort of a slight twig sticking out in this corner. I'm just going to do that. Now remember, it's a part of the twig, so this is going to be narrower than that. Okay, and you can give it nice, like slight jagged angles also. You don't have to give it rounded edges because it's not a stem of a flower, it's a proper wooden twig. Okay, something like that. And then I'll just going to quickly add a little bit of brown around it. This area is a little dry of mine, so it's fine. And even if it blends a little bit, it's absolutely fine. Just kind of like make a natural progression like that. Bring it out. Okay. And because now it's the twig at the bottom, you can actually make branches over here, sort of connecting with these buds. Now I'm just using the tip of my brush to sort of like connect the dots kind of thingy happening over here. Right? Something like that. You can also make like an offshoot kind of coming out over here also and join it in with the dots. And make like a small shoot coming out here. Something like that. Right? Now, I would also like to continue this over here slightly. So maybe if this is joining in here, this is a second offshoot of it. And I'll just bring it out like that. This is kind of like a broken dead branch kind of thingy that I'm doing. And I'm going to keep the edge little tapered and a little jagged. So I'm just going to leave it sort of at an angle like that. You can give it a few knobs also, make it a little wobbly. Even for this, actually, I'll make like a little knob on it. I think that looks a little more realistic. Okay. So I think my branch per se is done. If you want, you can give a little tiny twig coming out over here also. If you feel that would look nice. Okay. Now, let me see, is this dry? It's still a little damp, so we'll come back to that a little later. But in areas where your paint has dried, you can start adding these details too. Okay. So I just need to mix a little more brown of mine. So I'm just taking out some of that. And once you're done, we'll actually add another layer on the brown, but we'll add a little black to our layer so that we can add some texture to it. Okay. So even over here, wherever I have these little pink buds, I'm just adding like a couple of twigs sticking out. You can do the same thing here. Like say this is the branch sort of joining in over here. So it's got an offshoot coming out with the twigs over here with the buds. It doesn't have to be exactly, connecting everything together. It's just more about giving the idea that, okay, this is connected or this is a branch for this, something like that. It's just about giving an idea rather than actually showing every single, connecting every single dot rather. Add some here too. I'll actually fill this part in a little bit with brown so that there's some continuity to it. And maybe a little bit in between here too. So it looks like the branch is peeking out kind of between the flowers. Sure, Disha, no problem. I'll look forward to seeing your work. Just here and there, in between, you can add a few like brown stalks. Something like that. Okay. Now we can finish with the stalks completely before we come back to the flowers. We still got some detailing left for the flowers. As I said, I'm going to take a little bit of black and mix it into my brown. So I have a little darker shade now. You can see it's much darker. If I do a shade test, you can see that. And I want it a little more concentrated also. I don't want it that watery. Okay. So yeah, I think that should be fine. Now what we're going to do is, I'm just going to, even if your paper is a little wet, it's fine. Just kind of draw little dashes and things in it to kind of give it like a bark or wood kind of effect. We'll continue this in the middle here also. Now I can't make those lines in between. So just here and there, because usually this is going to be in shadow. So wherever I put the brown, I'm just dropping a little bit of this darker mix also. That also gives it a nice kind of contrast as compared to the light pink flowers. Okay. You can add a little bit to your branches also if you want, if your branches are looking too pale. So just to add a little more contrast to your flowers, you can add a little darker color to it. I think it's popping out much better now, right? I'm not putting it in all the branches, just a little bit. I don't want to use the word here and there because I used it so much, but I am doing it just a little bit here and there. Okay. You can also add like a couple of dots of brown just at the end. You could actually try doing a little bit of paint splatter on this also. That I think would also look quite pretty. This was actually turning out to be much more detailed than the reference one that we had. Okay, so now again, we're going to let this brown layer also dry. Okay, before we come and add in some tiny details. So now we'll switch back to the pink. So first, you'll have those flowers, the side view flowers. It could be like a blob like this over here just now. So just to give it some definition, the ones where we had made the 3 side view petals, I'm just going to come in, like leave a little space and do 1, 2, 3. Like that. Okay, let me zoom in a little bit. So wherever I remember having put those 3 petals, I'm going to make like 3 smaller petals on top of it. So it kind of looks like a side turned flower. And this is what's going to help us give some definition to our flowers also. So I did this 2 petal one over here also. So for this, I can actually make a 3rd petal in the middle. Say this was that 5 petal flower I made. So I can actually come in and kind of make like a negative around it. And add some pink right in the middle. For the flowers facing you, you can come and add like a rough pink circle in the middle. It doesn't have to be very dark also, just like a suggestion of that pink in the middle is fine. You can do that for your smaller flowers too. This one of mine, I had it side flower, but it's kind of blended with the brown, but I don't mind that. I think it's looking nice, so I'll leave it as it is. Okay, like that. And if you want, you can also, if you feel yours is still looking too abstract, what you can do is you can add some with the same very light color. You can add maybe like a little outline for some of your petals, not all, just a few of them. Wherever you feel that your painting might have gotten a little messy and the shapes are not very, very evident, you can come in and add a few. I don't actually have many of those. I think I've just done it. So I think we should be fine. Okay. Now I'll take a little more of my pink. I want this pink now to be a little darker, a little more concentrated, right? And I'll start adding those little dots. Okay, now that is wet. It's all wet. So just around it also, you can add some dots. You can either wait for it to dry out completely, or you can just give it like a kind of halo of these little dots. You can also come in where you get the side view flowers a little bit. You can just add a little bit of dots in between the petals also. Okay. Okay, I think we are good. Now, the only place where I think I can make some changes is over here in this area. I think I'll just make like a branch coming through over here also. I think that will look a little better. I think that looks more natural than the pink sort of outline that I was giving before that. So that kind of blends better with the whole brown branch. Right? Yeah, I think that looks much better. And then I can just extend it a little over here. So it looks like there's a brown branch joining in here too. Okay. So very rough, very simple.
उसने आशीष को मार दिया.
Yes, hi. Tell me. Is someone saying something? Okay, we'll continue. So now again, just we will wait for this to dry out a little more before adding another layer of those thin lines, just as bark, right? And this, wherever it's curved, where we made those knobs, you can just curve that also. This part's a little wet of mine, so I'll have to come back to this to do it again. But in my dry areas, I can continue. Not much, only the broader areas. Just a few lines like that to make it look like. Only like over here, these areas just still a little wet. I will need to add some over there. Okay. You can also come in. I'm just going to actually round off my petal over here a little bit so that it doesn't look that rough. This flower looks a little bit beaten down. So I'm just making sure its edges are a little smoother. Yeah, I think that's better. This poor flower. Better. Okay. So this is.
Have a look. I think my branch is a bit light, but
Yes, Anvi, you can let your branch dry a little and add a darker layer on top of that. It'll give, because the light color, it's not going to give you that much contrast. You can see the moment I added the darker layer, your pink starts popping out a little more. Because your paper is white, you're using light pink color also. So you need this darker brown to sort of like let it pop and give a little more contrast to your painting.
yes, I'll do that.
All right. So as I
Yes,
said, you
Susan.
can. Hi, Molly.
Can you have a look?
Can you bring it a little closer? Nice, Molly. The only thing, I think your paint is dripping off. You want to take a look?
Yeah.
So I'll tell you what, maybe you have a lot of white gaps over here in between your
Yeah.
flowers. So
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
add a little bit of brown and some more flowers to just make it look a little fuller.
Cool.
Okay.
Cool. I'll add that branch where
Yes.
that paint dripped.
Okay. I can see Ramya, yours is looking lovely.
Thank you, Susan. I think it's more of pink color. It's like very dark. Is that okay?
See, from what I can see over here, I think it's fine. Maybe once it dries, if you feel you've got it bunched too much, since brown is a darker color, you won't have any problem adding a darker color. So once it dries completely, maybe like I think over here, yours is that's what you're talking about. There's a lot of pink over there. So maybe in this area, maybe a branch in the flowers or something, just to add a little more contrast to it, like on this side over here. You can try that. Otherwise, the flowers are looking lovely.
Thank you.
Okay, so I need to be a little patient to let these areas which are wet of mine dry out. But you get the drift. That's basically what you need to do. You can always come back and add more detail to your flowers. But at the same time, it is meant to be a loose painting. So then it's a downward spiral after that, because if you add some detail, then you'll want to add more detail. And then the whole point of making a loose, simple floral gets kind of lost in the process. So that's why I'd suggest try not to add more details. The whole point is to give you the impression of florals rather than actually showing you every single flower. So just keep that in mind. It is difficult to, I myself struggled with painting loose flowers because I didn't know when to stop. I would always continue painting more and more, adding more details. So it's taken me a while to understand, that you have to let go of a little bit of control to be able to make nice loose flowers. And that's one thing I just like, if you all could try and emulate and, try it in your own life also and see how, once you start with loose florals, there's no going back. It's something very, very satisfying to paint also. So I'm hoping that this just helps you a little bit in probably trying to get something like that. Just adding a little bit of a shadow here and there. Wherever, the only thing I'm doing is now, wherever I feel there's like a bigger blob of pink, which you can't immediately categorize as a flower, I'm just adding a little shadow or maybe a petal over there, just about that. It's nothing more than that. Which I think at this point of time, I am okay now. And wherever I need a few more dots, that I'm doing. Okay, I think that's fine. This area of mine is still going to be wet, so I'll have to wait another 5-10 minutes to be able to add those final details. I'll put a picture up of the final painting on my Insta account also. You guys can take a look if you'd like to do like a final comparison. That's it, guys. That's a wrap. This is what we have painted today. And I think we made it much more detailed than the reference. This was the reference one. It looks much more simpler as compared to this, but I'm happy that we've done this. If you guys decide to paint this even now or later on, and if you put it on Instagram, please don't forget to tag me. I would love to see what you guys make. I'm just putting my handle on the chat in case anyone would like to check it out on Instagram. Do tag me. I love to see what you guys do, so please keep that in mind. And I do have tutorials. Most of you all have come from Instagram only, but I do host these live sessions. I try to do them at least twice a month on Sundays. I put the details of it out on my stories, so you can keep an eye on it there if you'd like to have more information. And that's it. Oh yes, and this will be recorded. It is being recorded. Once it's done, we will share it on my YouTube channel, which has the recordings of all my live sessions. You can check that out. That is also Susan Half-Eyed Artworks. You can check that out on YouTube. And if you like it, you can subscribe to it also. Completely up to you. And yeah, if you'd like to see this recording, I think by tonight or tomorrow morning, this should be up. So in case you'd like to just take a preview of it or come back to it and see a particular part, you can do that also. So that's a wrap, guys. Thank you so much for joining in. I hope you have an awesome, awesome Sunday. And
Thank you,
hope to
sir.
see you guys soon. Take care.
Thanks a lot. It's wonderful session.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
Thanks.